Here we go. Ready? Oh, who's better than me? Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's happening? Take two. Hey, what's up, guys? What's happening? Just kidding. Sweatshirt weather again. It's like 20 degrees outside. Not very happy. T Chisel's not happy. My fingers are having a hard time moving around. I'm freezing them off for 20 years out there in the weather. The weather. But anyways, alright. Back to the task at hand. Alrighty? Alright. Here it is. It's the lid. Now, after you plane it and get all the mill marks off and get it crispy, it was time to cut it to final shape. Almost final shape. It's still a little bit big dimensionally because I need to put the breadboard ends on and I have to fit this lid onto the writing surface, after I hinge it. So you just don't want to commit to the final shape of this thing yet. I mean, final dimension. So the next step, I brought it over to the table saw and I ran my tongues. See that on the dado set? If you're not sure how to do a mortise and tenon, go over to the forum. Put a question in, and either I or one of the guys that are on there will be able to answer it for you. It's pretty straightforward stuff. What I basically do is I just put an auxiliary fence up against my table saw fence, and I have a stacked dado set that's a little wider than what I need, and I bring it up to through the auxiliary fence, and then I just run it. It's just important to make sure that the tongue and the cheek are cut at not at the same time, but so they're the same dimensionally. And then I ran a groove. Now check it out. Then on the breadboard end, I ran a groove just on the dado set. All right, guys. It's a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. And then you see I have the mortises. I have a slot mortising machine, so I just mortised it out. What's funny? I also have a multi-router, and the thing's awesome, but I'm not the type of guy who could really benefit from using a multi-router. I spent $3 grand on it sitting over there collecting dust. Live and learn, man. Just don't be too excited to go buy tools, I could use that $3,000 in my pocket now. Believe me, the thing's just sitting over there collecting dust. But anyways, I'm not here to complain. I just want to show you guys how to put the breadboard end on. Now you see I have it on this side already? What you need to do, I'm going to bring the camera over. Here it is. I laid it out already. You see that? This is the part that I want to take out. It's got the X on it. You don't ever want to lay this stuff out and forget how to do it. It's a drag. Basically, all I did was I had it laid out on here already, and I just transferred the marks from the breadboard end onto the cheeks of the writing surface. And then, it's a breadboard, so you want to make it so it can move around a little bit. You know what I mean, guys? So you see the line that's on the top, and then you see how small the tongue is that's going into the groove. It's about 3/16 on either side of the groove, so this one will be able to move around a little bit. You want this thing to be able to shrink and contract. Now this is a really long cheek right here. It's because I still have to cut this all here. I think I have to take about 1.25 inches off of here, right here, somewhere in there. So I just left it a little big. And basically, I suppose you could go over to your bandsaw or this, that, or the other thing and try to just take the material out all sorts of different ways. Me, I just do it with, believe it or not, my blue blade and a chisel. And I'm just going to show you how I do it. How's that sound? Alright, I failed to mention before that after you run this part of it, I'm going to call this the tongue, okay? After you run the tongue over your table saw with the stacked dado set, you want to make it a little heavy, okay? And then you come along with your shoulder plane. Remember? This is a shoulder plane, in case you guys forgot. You want to come along and just clean it up a little bit and just gingerly approach it so the breadboard end fits snugly. You don't want to try to get this off the table saw because it almost never works. I mean, it would be, you'd be hard pressed to make it totally work off the table saw. So it's always best to leave it a little heavy and then just, you know, attack it with your shoulder plane. I mean, I might be a little biased because I like hand planes. You know, I like doing handwork, but whatever. Okay, and now here's a little trick for these haunches. I cut a piece of wood, okay? That is the exact depth of the groove in the breadboard end, all right? So all I need to do is keep it on the shoulder of the writing surface and draw the line. See that? Cool, huh? You know, I wish I had a coping saw, but I don't, so I kind of hack this stuff out with my blue blade. You guys are gonna love this. This is how I do it. So sometimes it's not worth me getting up and going over to the bandsaw, you know what I'm saying? It just isn't worth it sometimes. So I just kind of do this. And it's not that hard. I'm only going to do one just so you guys know what I'm saying. Okay? If I had a coping saw, I would have been done by now. I broke the blade, I don't have another one. Man. And then I just clamp this on there, and then I pair it, alright? But I just don't pair it off to the other side where there's nothing left. I'll show you in a second. I just want to try to get these high spots off. Alright. I put this on one side, okay? And I have another block. This will be good enough. I got a backer on the other side. Hang on. Get a stupid clamp. Alright. I hate these clamps, but you know what? This is like the only spot where they're kind of worth having it. I've had this clamp forever. I think this is maybe the 10th time I've ever used it. Spring clamp would be fine. Alright. Now you see that? Cool, huh? I take my chisel. Alright. Can you guys even see any of this? Am I? Yeah, we're pretty good. Now I know that this board, right, is the thickness that I want. So I can just go along and knock the tops of these little teeth off first. Hey, let me get another clamp. Hold on, let me get another clamp, fellas. T-Mac is never prepared. I make those guys at Bob Vila crazy. You know, bobvila.com. Alright, that's cool. Now you see what I'm looking at here? I got a newfangled camera here, but... Alright. Sweet, right? Now, I'm just going to try to take this stuff off a little bit. With a, you know, 1/2-inch chisel first. And this is why it's important to make sure that your chisels are sharp. This is all end grain. And it's important to keep this backer board on the back of it, so you don't smash through it and splinter the crap out of the other side of this stuff, you know what I mean? But sometimes it's like, I don't really care about this little haunch tenon right here. I mean, it's just to keep the breadboard flat, you know? It's not like it's a through tenon. You're not going to see the other side of it. This is just for construction purposes only, so I don't really care what the hell it looks like. You know, I'm not trying to make the perfect friggin' haunch tenon right here. I'm just trying to get it done so I can keep moving. So that's that, man. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Alright, now here's the other side. Okay, I've already done this side. So check it out. You know, to get the tongue and the little part right here. See? Nothing to it, guys. And it fits right in. And it's really important. Oh wow, I can get right in there, huh? If I had light in the right way, we could get right down inside that mortise. It's important to clean the corners of these mortises out, because this is the stuff that will kill you. If you like go way down in there, oh, there's a scary looking hole. You know, you just want to clean that out with a chisel, because when you start to put this breadboard end on, you know, that's the kind of thing that'll really make it stuck. Alright, back in the old tripoddy butt. Alrighty, now, it's always important to make sure you mark this stuff the right way. You know, you don't want to get it confused, flip it over this way or the other way. And it just goes right on there, snugly, alright? Don't jam it on there. Just, you know, get it on there, nice and easy. Now, obviously, I've already fit this one, you know? It didn't go on like that the very first time I cut the tenons and fit it, you know? I had to work it a little bit and just hit it with a plane here and there and got it to fit really, really nice. But it's very important to make sure before you run the groove and those mortises on this piece of wood right here, that you want to hit that with a hand plane, okay? You don't want a bunch of chatter marks from either your table saw or from your joiner on that inside face. You know what I'm saying to you? Like this side right here, I hit this with a hand plane already. So I know that it's nice and smooth. So, you know, it's important to know how to, you know, plane something without making it not 90 degrees, to keep it, you know, a couple of swoops with a plane to make it parallel. So, just a little bit of practice, man. I mean, practice makes perfect, they tell me. Alright, so now that you have this thing on there, alright, new card, whatever, I ran out of juice. Okay, now you get the breadboard end on there, okay? It's important that you have to take this thing off the right way. You just can't try to yank it off and smash it. I mean, this thing is on there, you know, pretty snug, and this breadboard end is about a ½ inch, 5/8 too big, and it's a little too big this way. I mean, I can sit there and try to wiggle it and wiggle it and wiggle it, and maybe it'll come flying off and, you know, it could crack the other side or whatever. You know, what I do, well, I mean, this is only the second time I've ever done it, so, you know, this is what I've been doing. See how I'm just kind of drawing my hammer back a little bit on both sides, and I'm pulling it away from the writing surface. Now I'm just trying to just take it off lightly. You know what I'm saying, guys? See that? I mean, these things are supposed to be on there tightly. That's what they're designed for, because you don't want to put a ton of glue in here. Just a couple of dabs to keep it on there. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just barely hitting it. You could even do it with like the other half if you're not comfortable hitting it with your with the metal part of the hammer. And you just kind of pry it off little by little. You know, that's it. See? Ta-da! And that thing is on there. Trust me, that sucker is on there. Well, so that's how you do the breadboard ends. And like I just said, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, just go over to the forum, jot in your question, trash talk the world champs if you wanna, or the 9-0 Pats. Who knows? By the time this thing gets aired, there might be 14-0. Who knows? You know, it's I'm having a lot of fun with that forum. It's really, really cool, man. If you haven't been there, go check it out. We have, you know, a couple little things over at bobvila.com that you really can't see anywhere else. You know, a couple of special videos. We're gonna have some guests over there, so it's starting to take off, everybody. Thanks to you guys. You know what I mean? I'm just some chump over here trying to knock out a living making furniture. I'm not selling anything except a serpentine from Bombe secretary. If you know anybody who's interested. All right. See you later.